Okay, so it is our Tuesday content journey chats and halfway through April, and feeling like I'm getting like where I get blah blah blah, where I'm looking really forward to our Tuesday chats.
Good.
Right? I get to talk to y'all on Mondays, and then I don't get to really see you any other time. We don't do a whole lot of like meetings, just us, and like this is our time, I think.
I like it. It's a good fit.
Yes. Okay, so today we had something exciting happen over at the content journey side of the house, which was our latest article for Digital Marketer was published and went out to the newsletter. I think they say it goes out to over 700,000 people. That's quite an email list, right?
Wow.
Yeah, can you imagine? That's a lot of management. And so the topic was about Instagram marketing. And so we think it's a really good idea to talk about Instagram marketing today and how we can utilize that channel effectively.
You kind of downplayed that a little bit, Lindsay, because it didn't just go out in the newsletter. It went out at the top of the newsletter.
Yeah, it was. And I think the first time that they published one of our articles, it had like my face on it, it was like at the very top of the newsletter, and that felt so awkward. And so this time it was my name and somebody else's face. Not like, you know what I mean? Not like a headshot or anything, but a designed graphic. And I liked that better. Didn't feel quite comfortable.
I'm going to encourage them to use your face in the future.
I agree with that move.
Like, if you're going to publish articles written by Lindsay Miller, you're going to have her face on it.
Huge Lindsay. Like the big head that you take to sporting events. Yeah.
Right. You have to keep track of my ego. You got to keep me in check that way.
Yeah, that's what they say about you. They're like, she has the biggest ego.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I bet so.
As you just got called out for downplaying something.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's why I have y'all here.
Why
Instagram?
Why are we going to use the newfangled Instagram for our marketing? Why bother?
Well, so some of the research that went into this article showed, I'm looking at Kenna because she's our research person, shows that almost 90% of people on Instagram follow a business of some kind. And so I think in a weird way, it's like direct marketing, but it's also indirect marketing, oddly, right? Whenever you're out there specifically on Instagram. And so I thought that was a really good statistic to kind of catch on to. People think of social media as our fun time. But really it is also about, business.
Yeah.
Do you follow brands or like shop on Instagram?
Absolutely. Yeah. Whether it's like I buy a product in person and then I start following the company just to see like the new things, or there are so many things that I've come across like just through Instagram, and then started following and kind of kept my eye on things because I'm a slow to purchase sort of follower, which is probably not the ideal audience, but I've definitely used it to like learn and consider and then kind of decide if I want to make a purchase or not.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that I would say that's the non-ideal, though. I think that when you study e-commerce marketing and trends, that it's something ridiculous too. Like 80% or 90% of people are researching products or companies before they're ever purchasing. And then they're making their buying decisions based on that. So I think you're probably representing all of us like that. And as you asked that question, Kenna, I was reminded. So I spent time with Taylor last night. So one of my best friends from college, we're celebrating my birthday, a month later. And the gift that she got me, I didn't even think about this, but she was like, oh, you already have this, style or whatever. If you have this kind, let me know. I was like, no, this is the first time I've ever gotten it was like a Stell colored glass. I found them through Instagram. And just thought that their glassware and their bowls and all their things were incredibly cool. And so I've just followed them there. And the reason Taylor knew about it was because they had a competition or like a raffle or a giveaway or something. And you're supposed to tag people. And so she's always one of my tag people because she
She won't
tags me
care.
in all of the
Yeah.
things.
I have those
Yeah,
people
she
too.
tags me in like her giveaway stuff too.
Yeah.
And like you always have to have those people that you can tag, right? And so
Sure.
I had tagged her in a giveaway at some point, not recently.
Mhm.
And so she had kept that in the back of her mind. And so she was like, oh yeah, Lindsay would love this because she follows them and tagged me in this giveaway thing. And that's where she got my birthday present from. And I've never had made the purchase on my own. So that's Instagram marketing for the win.
And it's a great gift giving tip if you're wondering what to get someone. Pay attention to their
Yeah.
Instagram. I've
He's
definitely
so
done
thoughtful
that for,
about
people
stuff like
before.
that. Yeah.
That's right.
I have a whole camera roll. I was trying to clean out my camera roll last night because through, people who focus on more sustainable practices online, like specifically, I'm thinking about Cheryl at Cause Labs.
Mhm.
We know that like when you keep all that stuff on your phone, it uses energy, right? The storage space uses energy when they have to back that up on servers and stuff. So I've tried to start being better about like moving things, to wherever they need to go instead of just storing, thousands of photos on my phone. But when I was going through, I realized how often I see something on Instagram I like and screenshot it with the description so that I can, Emily, think, do I really want this? Could I get this for a gift from someone? Is this a treat for me? Sometimes I'll send it to, my sister-in-law and be like, do we like this? Like, is this? But I do that a lot. I actually do a lot more shopping on Instagram than I would have thought that I do, or based on what I see there.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that's my question. How often do you all see something on Instagram, an ad or somebody you follow, and they're having a sale or something, and just go ahead and make your purchase within the app itself? Have you done that before?
I don't know if I've purchased a ton from within the app itself, but I've definitely like clicked on things and like left to go directly to the website.
Right.
Yeah. Grant Wilson, he probably has done a lot more like in-app purchases.
I was going to say, I think some of those are hit and miss, right,
Yeah.
Emily?
He's the spender and I'm the like, let's think about this for a couple of months. So, but he's definitely more likely to like see an ad and be like, I didn't realize I wanted that. I do want that. Let's buy it. So,
right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you end up with like not great products.
My brother has sent me some things from Instagram and been like, the kids need this or whatever. So that's interesting though, the way we're talking about how we use it, because it makes me think that your reach, right, is so much further than you actually think it is when using the app.
Right.
Because, how many people do actually click through and buy right then versus send it to someone or screenshot it to consider it, or Emily sit on it for a month or whatever.
It's true.
Right.
Now, when it comes to like not purchasing, I definitely take action a lot. If it's like sign up for my emails or things like that, I would say that I'm a lot more likely to like take a step like that than I am to just like turn over my money. So there are tons of times that like I've downloaded an ebook that I've been curious about, or a guide for something, or just get on a recipe email list or whatever it may be. And page that way for sure.
So Kenna, I think you're our team TikTok user here. Does TikTok offer the same buying opportunities or downloading opportunities that Instagram does?
So you usually can click and go to someone's storefront, right? Because it's mostly like influencer based. So they all have their link trees or, however they do their storefronts. And then you can go and connect directly there. Some brands offer buttons that you can go and immediately purchase. But the unfortunate thing is if you ever like something that's like Oprah just released her favorite jeans. And so everybody's trying to sell Oprah's favorite jeans on TikTok right now. And if you pause too long on one of those videos, then that's all you're getting for like days, is people trying to, influence or sell Oprah's favorite jeans.
Oh, that's funny. The algorithm stuff, it's we have some clients where you're like, I don't want to get these ads, or I don't want to get this like retargeting things for. And so I don't know if I've ever shared my secret with you all, but you can use this for TikTok and Instagram too, I bet, because you have to trick the algorithm into saying that you're interested in other things. And so I'll pull up like car dealerships, because like they are notoriously going to retarget and show that stuff. And then I just get to see new cars instead for a month, instead of the other content that I didn't want to see any more of. And so anyway, if you don't want to see jeans, search for cars, and then you can at least see new cars for a little while. But I do think that as a opportunity for businesses, even small business, right? So we see this with Vita bars, especially because they're in this very specific e-commerce situation, so that they can go like, look at this, curly hair product. Don't you want to purchase it? And they can go right there, almost stay in the app and make their purchase and complete their purchase. And it's this really seamless experience from see the image or see the video, make your purchase, complete your purchase, and you're right back in, like you've never left Instagram, and you get to continue scrolling. And so I think for businesses like that, it's incredibly powerful. I think it's harder for businesses like ours to use Instagram incredibly effectively in a strategic way. Not saying that it's impossible. I just think that it's harder to find your audience at the right time with, our price points the way they are, and even our service and product offering array. It's just different. But if it's a $20 shampoo bar, like that's easy. Like that, just like the downloadable ebook is very different, gateway into that brand, as opposed to, our package is $2,000 a month. And so I think that's also worth, I guess, talking about, is which brands can actually benefit. Which businesses do you see? I think a question for both of you, which businesses benefit the most, and which businesses are you like, yeah, spend your time on a different social platform? Do you have an opinion on that?
I think it's a sales versus awareness thing. Like you said, price point is really important. If I'm going to click off of social and just buy, I'm going to buy a $20, hair care product, but not a $2,000 service. But I can be very much aware of the $2,000 service. Like, and I'm thinking about, I went to the arts festival last year, and I'm a snob about art, which is why a lot of my walls are bare. I can't afford the art I want, so I put up nothing. But I'm really on like local art. And so I followed all of these artists on Instagram, and I watched their work, and I'm just kind of like waiting for that thing that super speaks to me. So it's keeping me aware, it's keeping them top of mind, it's keeping me informed, but I'm not going to ever make a purchase of a huge art purchase off of Instagram, Yeah,
that's true. But I also think it, like, for businesses that have the bigger things, in addition to awareness, it is like building more connections. So maybe our business isn't going to get a sale from Instagram, but we are going to get an email address, right? From someone that says, hey, I really want their ebook. And so I think some of it for business owners can be about, what's your strategy? Maybe it's not a sales strategy. Maybe it is like awareness or developing a pipeline in a different way. But not necessarily like that the platform itself is something you should completely opt out of. It's just using it in a different way, and even investing your engagement hours a little bit differently.
I think that's accurate. Now, we are big fans of planning and creating content calendars. Emily, what are your like top, couple of tips for people if they've never done this before? Like, how do you set somebody up for success if they need to plan their month at a time that doesn't scare them away?
Yeah. So I think for me, if I can like simplify it by saying, okay, these are the 3 topics I want to post about this month. I want to give tips on how to set goals, on Mondays. And then on Wednesdays, I want to feature like customer feedback. And on Fridays, I want to tell a fun thing to do for the weekend. Then I know for that month, I only have to come up with 4 of those. I only have to come up with 4 goals or tips on how to set goals, 4 customer reviews, 4 fun things to do this weekend. And that simplifies from going, I have to create a whole month of content to like, really, I only have to come up with 4 things to say about setting goals. And I think that takes like, it kind of removes the barrier of like, oh my God, this is overwhelming, into like, I can come up with 4 tips on goal setting, like no problem.
Right.
And I think another thing that we've been hearing a lot lately, as you're working to set up your calendars, even if you're doing it ahead of time, is to show yourself, because just using like images and text and stuff on your Instagram, people want to see who's behind this business. Can I trust them? Do I relate to them? So recording clips, just like kind of the things that we're talking about now, it does not have to be professional quality video to make an appearance on Instagram. Most Instagram videos are not high quality. They're done with an iPhone. And so, and it's okay to say things like, and so, and it just shows that you're human and real, and that you didn't nail it, but that you actually are approachable. So while you want to maintain like quality in the value that you're delivering, it's okay to show up as yourself.
I think the way that you speak about how you break down the month into like the 4 things is really, really helpful. And I think that changes people's mindset on things. Your second point, I feel personally attacked on, and I'm not going to acknowledge it, but the first one was great.
Yeah.
Put her out there anyway, Emily. Just shoot random video of her and just throw it up there.
I know. There's so many tools too to make your life easier. And whether it's like pulling up a calendar, like there's monthly calendars that tell holidays that you can see like what aligns with your industry. That's super helpful. We're huge Canva fans. Most people that are on Instagram are using it. So take advantage of the tools to make your life easier too.
Absolutely. Now, Kenna, when you're outsourcing this, so if you're utilizing Content Journey, for example, or another space to create your social media, and coming up with this like written style guide so that somebody else can capture your voice, what are your takeaways for people to learn on how to set that up for success?
I mean, I think that what Emily said about showing up as your authentic self is super important on social media. So you want to document as many of your usage rules as you can, but I also think it's really important for the organization that you're outsourcing to, the agency, to listen to how you talk. And to be able to capture your personality and use the words that you would normally use in those posts. So when it comes to social, instead of having like that set guide, although you should have that too, I think the agency engaging with the person they're posting for is really critical.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think it's in all of the things. I mean, when I talk about social media, and I've said this for a really long time, and sometimes I think I'm going to have to amend it depending on who I talk to, but social media has never been my favorite from like a business standpoint, because we don't own Instagram. We don't own Twitter. Like, look at how everybody's freaking out about Twitter and what happens to like the community that they've created there over the years. And, you know, like Kenna's nodding, right? Because you've worked so hard to cultivate a genuine following there. And the control at the end of the day is out of your hands. Right. And so it doesn't matter how hard you've worked or what you've done to create that. And it's not just Twitter, it's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's TikTok, it's all of them, right? They say, oh, we're going to make this better by changing these things up. And then overnight, everything changes, your platform changes. And so I hate that. I don't like the stability or instability, I guess, that creates, and the stability that you lose by giving up that power. So that when you're building, and I'll use Vita Bars as an example again, they have such this huge platform on social media, and they had nothing on, they didn't even have a website, right?
Mhm.
For their first year of business. And so it was like, hold on a second. I know this is powerful. I know there are people over here, and I know this is instant gratification. Even if it's not purchases, it's people interacting and liking, and that feels really good
Right.
to have that feedback, but it can disappear overnight. And so for them, it was switching not everything, but just saying we need to diversify and have a website. And some of our social media has to be focused on sending people to the website where we do control things. And to a certain extent, we still have Google algorithms to account for, right? But as long as we're doing the correct things on the site, then we're okay. But how does this, right? How does this talk of Instagram marketing fit into this idea that at the end of the day, we don't really own it?
I think one of the biggest challenges with that relationship in Instagram is that in the context of every actual post that you post, you can't put a URL. And so it does make it necessary to like use a link bio, which isn't something that we would necessarily recommend. And maybe we could talk a little bit more about that. But having something that's like sharing your posts and your stories so that you can put the correct link there, but really doing everything that you can to promote the links as much as possible so that you're getting traffic away from just your profile.
Right.
Yeah, like I teach, don't build your brand on borrowed land, right? It's not one or the other. You have to have your website, and then you use social media to, like you said, lead people back there, promote. If you get sales on social media, fabulous. But yeah, it can change overnight. You can lose, trust me, thousands of followers overnight,
Yeah,
So definitely
absolutely.
there is risk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Emily, touch a little bit on this, like from an SEO perspective, because that's what we are, right? We're SEO and content marketing. So tell everyone why we don't love link in bio and maybe what the best practice is.
So you can create a page just on your website, because basically when people click the link bio, they're not clicking to your site, they're clicking to the link bio and then going to your site. And so the way that registers with Google doesn't enhance your SEO performance as much as if you have a page on your site that is set up with, you've probably been to a page like this before where it shows maybe all of your Instagram images, and then you click on the image and it takes you to whatever URL that image was particularly referencing. Having that link on your site just really increases the SEO value. You probably could explain it a little more clearly.
No, I think that's perfect. And I think that is the other part of this too, is we were talking to our SEO specialist this morning, and she was kind of reminding us like, well, have you been sharing the pages on social media? And because it's not just about blog posts, it's also about pages and products and things that aren't the $20 shampoo bar. It really is like everything else. So us sharing our lead magnet page and us sharing our, SEO writing pages, like those are important for social media too, because of the SEO value on the other side, because it's increasing our authority and everything else in all of the ways, because all of those pieces, all those algorithm pieces speak to each other. And so it's another part of Instagram marketing that can't be forgotten, which is how is it really tying back to your website? How is it really tying back to like the core of your business? That I think is, a good thing to sort of wrap up our conversation on, which is Instagram is fantastic. And I love playing on it and spend a lot of my free, healthy, disassociation time there. But when building businesses, we have to be really smart about it. Do either of you have any final thoughts before we say goodbye today?
I think that last little statement that you said, thinking about how much time are you investing in your Instagram marketing related to like how much profit you're seeing from it, is really helpful to keep in mind.
And I would just say, don't Instagram just to Instagram, right? Don't do it because everybody else is doing it. Think about your business, how visual is your product, and where are your customers already gathered? Where is your target?
Yeah, I love that. All right. Well, this was another fantastic Tuesday chat. And I am going to encourage anyone who's watching the recording or who may have caught some of it live that if you see any businesses or brands doing fantastic on Instagram, go ahead and leave it as a comment on the YouTube video, because I would love to see some shining examples of people doing this really well, and maybe learn some great things of how people are implementing this. So thank you. And I will